My name's Amy and I have just recently moved to Canada with my boyfriend Mike from the UK for an International Experience Canada visa, which is essentially like a 2-year working holiday visa. And I have decided it'd be fun to document my experience by making videos. There were numerous reasons why I wanted to give this a go. The first one being that just for my own memories. I always try and keep travel diaries, but I always start with the best intentions and then just stop writing in them. And then I try and document my travels through like photos and videos, so I have literally thousands of photos and videos across various devices, but the only ones that I ever end up looking back on are the ones that have made it to social media, just due to the memories features and things like that. So that's one reason why I just like to capture memories for myself. And the second reason was because I want to keep my loved ones back home in the loop. We have a family group chat and I usually post pictures in there and then do like a large accompanying paragraph, but I just think there's so much that you can't actually like describe, so I'm hoping that this might be a better way to capture things. And I know that they'll all be really like excited and intrigued to see what we're up to, and my grandma in particular will love this, so this is for you, Grandma. And then the third and final reason was because our travel plans were pushed back 4 times due to the dreaded C word. The COVID pandemic, and one of the only things that kept me excited was watching YouTubers on an IEC and just living vicariously through them and feeling like I was getting prepared, like by finding out information, getting like on the ground intel by watching. So if I can provide anything similar to anyone else who's in that situation, that'd be amazing, that'd be a bonus. So the situation with travelling to Canada during COVID is that borders are closed in Canada for non-essential travel. So if you are travelling to Canada, to be allowed in, you need to be travelling for a non-discretionary purpose, one of which is to start a job or to travel for work. So we secured jobs at a ski resort in British Columbia, so that is the reason that we were allowed in. And then to complicate things further, just before we were about to travel, a UK-wide lockdown came in, which meant that UK airports were only allowing people to fly for a limited number of reasons. One of those did include work, so we were hopeful everything would be fine. But obviously it just kind of felt like the odds were stacked against us and we were panicking that things could go wrong at any moment. I was wondering if I'd ever be sharing this video or if we'd get turned around at the airport. But luckily here we are, almost finished our 2-week quarantine. It's taken me that long to edit the video. Maybe I was more on the right track with the travel diaries. But yeah, so that's what happened. We had our job offers, we had all of our documentation that we needed that we brought to the airport, and we just had to cross our fingers and hope for the best, and luckily it all went well. And the route that we took was from the UK to Amsterdam, and then from there to Vancouver, because as I mentioned, our travel plans did get pushed back 4 times. This was our 5th flight that we booked, so we'd had some direct ones in there, but they were just getting cancelled on us, so that's why we went non-direct. So without further ado, let's get on with the travel day. Go to Canada. Through security, checked in. Mike's just finishing off in security. It's quite quiet, pretty seamless. The lady at the check-in desk asked our final destination, so obviously I said Canada, and she asked for the reason for travelling, and I said for work. I said going to work, and she said going to work, not returning to work, and I said yeah. At which point she had to look on her iPad for a while and asked what type of visa we were on. So I gave her the paperwork and pointed her to our extension, because that did say the special measures in COVID about being able to get in with a job offer. And then she was satisfied with that, so that was nice, that was great. She didn't flinch at our extra luggage weight, which was not true of some of the check-in agents, so that was good.
from Poundland, because a lot of people on the group have said that basically at any stage where you might encounter difficulty, it seemed to give airport staff and border officials confidence to see that you had a big folder of documents. So, and it felt good to have them organised. So in here I've got them separated into passport and port of entry letter, which is what we need to get in. They don't issue the visa prior to you getting there, they give you that when you get there. So this is like the pre-visa. Due to COVID you need a job offer to get in. And you also need to confirm that the operation's still running and have not been closed due to COVID, and that they'll still employ you after you've had your mandatory 14-day quarantine. So that's all that information in there. Oh, and I've lost my other two labels, but this is just my airline ticket. And then this is everything that they might ask for. So they can ask for any of the documents that you submitted when you were applying for the visa. There's like a family information form, police check. We've also got our quarantine plan in there, proof of funds to enter Canada, our insurance, and saying that we're also covered for COVID, and confirmation of our Airbnb, confirmation of our Walmart order, just basically anything that they might ask for. All bases covered, hopefully. And then the last one is just what I printed off literally about a year ago when we got the visa, just to say what we might need at the border. And that is all of it.
Just in the queue to board our plane. We have boarded our plane to Canada in Amsterdam. We are absolutely chuffed. Said to Mike he has to be in this bit. We had to go to a gate for a temperature check, and what else did we do? Fill in a form about COVID. And then we got a piece of paper that we had to take to our gate, and then we had to show our letter and our passport and our boarding pass, and it was just like getting on any other flight, just show them those at the gate, and we are over the moon, can't wait to get there. Just ordered some wine to go with our snack bags that have just come round, which in a stroke of luck seem to have some cheese and crackers. You can see some chocolate, some Coke. There's just a lot of stuff in there. There's like 2 of everything, and we get one of these each, so looking forward to that. 2 approaches to pouring. Cheers. And I'll just show you what we got. We weren't sure what we'd get in COVID times, but we all got a blanket, you can see the wrapped ones, and some headphones each, and this kind of 2-pronged headphone socket because there were 2 holes in the armrest. And we got a bottle of water when we got on, and they come round as often as we need. And then there was a sanitising wipe and gel when we first got on so we could clear our area. But in the snack bag just now they brought us these refreshing towels as well. There were 2 of those each. And we did get a hot meal and a biscoff cheesecake as well. But the reason why my headphones have not been opened is because I'm not actually that impressed with the film selection, but I'm sure I will watch something while we're still on. We've got a while yet.
So we are actually almost on Canadian, well, above Canadian land, but we've still got like another 5 hours to go. But it's cool. I'll show you the movie, but say I'm not too impressed by. I just feel like I've seen most of them. Like, I've seen the ones that appeal to me quite recently, and the ones that I've not seen don't appeal to me really. But I suppose it's another symptom of COVID. No new movies have been coming out of the cinema really. No one's been able to film. Yet another casualty. So I've not watched anything yet. I probably will watch at least one before we get there. But we're approaching the halfway point.
We've got 1 hour 33 to go, and they've just brought us a little pizza slice and a drink. We are just starting our descent into Vancouver now.
Well, it's probably Vancouver Island just there.
Why?
Well, it looks like an island.
How do you get to Vancouver Island?
Oh, it looks like you could just swim across. Oh no, there's Vancouver Island.
I know, maybe that's it over there.
That little one there. Vancouver Island.
Definitely. We've landed in Vancouver after about 19 hours travelling and who knows how many months of planning. We're in Vancouver Airport, making our way to immigration, the last hurdle. So we're just heading down to some electronic kiosks, which we think might be where we do our ArriveCan app information, we'll see.
365 times 2.
Yes. 365 times 2 equals 7.
We've got our work permits, so that's the last hurdle over and done with. It's a very well laid out airport, so we came in over there, did those kiosk things, came through passport control, collected our bags, and then we went in immigration over here. We had to leave our suitcases outside, so overall pretty straightforward, thank God. And now we're off to order an Uber, hopefully the most straightforward part of the day.
Here we go, our first steps onto Canadian tarmac. Woohoo! We are arrivals to Canada now. Working holiday.
And that was the end of our travel day. On the Canadian airport side, it all went as smoothly as the rest of it had gone, thank goodness. The kiosks weren't anything to do with ArriveCan, they were just something that you always have to fill in when you come into the country, I believe. Saying our reason for coming, how many days we were going to be there, and then it took some pictures of us which we needed to hand in at the passport control desk. So after passport control we were instructed to go and collect our luggage, which luckily came really quickly, and then make our way to immigration. We had to leave our suitcases outside at immigration. We just took our valuables in and our documents that we needed. We were allowed to go up to the desk together. I had hung back initially because as far as the Canadian government are concerned, we are 2 single people travelling on 2 separate visas. But the border official did call me forward as well. Mike had said he was getting a little bit nervous because the border official had basically not said a word to him. And then I bumbled over like, hi, what do we need? Again, all we ended up having to actually show was our passport, our port of entry letter and our extension. He did ask where we were working and we told him, but he didn't ask to see proof or a letter. He didn't ask to see anything that he might have asked. No proof of funds, no insurance, nothing like that, no quarantine plan. But obviously you do need to have it all just in case. But yeah, man, a few words. He did flag up to Mike that his passport expires prior to the 2-year visa. So to get the full time, he will need to apply for a new passport and then get the visa linked to his new passport. But that's not until the back end of next year yet. But yeah, he really didn't say much to us. He asked for those things. He asked us to take a seat and he went away and processed them. Then he mentioned to Mike about his passport ending. And then he gave us our visas. Well, work permits, should I say. They're not actually visas. They don't guarantee you entry into the country every time. They do have some conditions on them, and they say the dates that they're valid on them. And we had been advised beforehand to make sure that we double checked those, because there have been instances of people getting issued shorter visas than they are entitled to, and then it seems quite hard to sort out once you've left the airport. But we were all good on that regard. And then we went and got an Uber and came to our very nice Airbnb. As I mentioned, it is mandatory to do a 2-week quarantine. We are lucky enough to be doing that in the nicest Airbnb we've ever stayed in. It is literally a mini house, and it has just been ideal for what we need. But our travel day is knocking on 2 weeks ago now, so we are very close to being out of quarantine. And then after that, we'll be venturing out and about in Vancouver, so we'll take you with us there as well to see what we get up to, see what we see as we see it. And I'll let you know when the next one's out, so you can see what we got up to in quarantine. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. So until next time, bye!